All right, guys, you know what time of the week it is. It's time for me to take a look at the comics coming out this Wednesday and tell you what I'm getting, what's on the chopping block, and what I'm making a game day decision on. Let's go ahead and cut the games and get into it. What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. And I record with my friendly cat, Charlotte. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. Now, on this channel, I do comic book unboxings, reviews, haul videos, and everything in between. So if you're interested in that type of content, hit the subscribe button, then tap that bell icon so that you're notified whenever my videos go live, because they're almost every day. Now, this series is called What I'm Getting. This is the latest episode where I break down solicitations. I tell you what I'm getting, what's on the chopping block, and what I'm making a game day decision on. You really want to clean yourself like right now? Anyway, so May 19th, 2021. It's a pretty stacked comic book week for me. We got... Really? So May 19th, 2021 is a pretty stacked comic book day for me. We got a lot going up and we got some really cool books. And I like to start with the book that I am most excited for. And this week, that is an independent title from Image Comics. It's called Stray Dogs, issue number 4. Now, Stray Dogs is a really cool series to me. Kind of took my pull list by storm. But it's basically a story written from the perspective of these dogs and the art style is very like Disney animated, but it's honestly a very gritty and suspenseful story because one of the dogs suspects that her new owner is a serial killer who killed her old owner. And so this mystery's been going on. The dogs have been slowly getting their memories back and thinking, maybe our master isn't as benevolent as we thought he was. And there are consequences for these dogs finding out this information. The last the last issue ended on a cliffhanger. It seems like one of the dogs was killed, but I'm not sure. I mean, we technically didn't see the dog's body, so we'll figure it out in this next issue. So I'm very excited to see how this story goes. It's one of my favorite reads every single time it comes out. And that's Stray Dogs number 4. It's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Next up, since we're talking about independent titles, also from Image Comics, this book is called Home, number 2. Now, Home is written by a member of some of the Facebook groups I'm in. His name is Julio Anta. And it's got artwork. Actually, I didn't write down the artist, my bad. But basically, Home is a story that very much deals in kind of the current day politics. But it's a story about a child who is immigrating to the United States with his mother. He's separated at the border from his mom, and kind of all hell breaks loose through the traumatic experience of being separated from his mom. He finds out he has some abilities, and now he's on the run. So issue number 1 was really, really good, and I'm very excited to get into issue number 2 to see how this story continues to unfold. Like I said, it's very much rooted in present day politics, so if you're not someone who likes political commentary, this isn't going to be the book for you. But I think there's an interesting enough twist to where it's just a good story and is written from the perspective of someone who has been through similar situations. So very, very cool. That's Home number 2. It's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A on that one as well. Next up from Image Comics is Radiant Black number 4. Radiant Black has been one of my favorite titles as I've been getting caught up. I've been reading the indie books first since they're a little miniseries. But Radiant Black is a story about a failed writer who just wasn't doing all that great in life. He had to move back in with his parents, stumbles upon a super suit, and, all sorts of adventures ensue. I really love the dialogue in this book. Just everyone. It's funny. It reads funny to me. But he's going through some pretty serious situations. He's got this suit. He's got these abilities. And he's also getting a connection to like other people who've held this suit in the past. Some with great intentions and some with not so great intentions. And he's got to decide which side of the law he's going to be on. And, does he even have control over that? Does the suit control him? Who knows? So Radiant Black number 4 is really dope. It's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Next up is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Best of Splinter. And this is finally rounding out the Best of TMNT series. We had Raph, Leo, Donnie, and Mikey, and now we've got Splinter. This basically is a compilation. They've got stuff from back from the Mirage Comics days all the way up through present day IDW adventures, and each book spotlights a specific character and gives you some of the best stories featuring them. So if you're someone like me who loves Ninja Turtles but came in late to the game, these are great books to have because they have some of the best moments for every character that you know and love. And if you're like me, you know and love all the characters. So very, very cool. That's got a cover price of $5.99. There's only one cover, and that's the cover A that I'm getting. And last up on my indie comics pull list from Image and Skybound is The Walking Dead Deluxe number 15. You already know the drill. The Walking Dead is a book that I did not read. I never watched the TV show back in the day. And is the TV show still ongoing? I think the TV show ended. But anyway, now the TV show's over, Robert Kirkman has decided to put out the original series back in single issues, but this time in color. So if I'm going to experience The Walking Dead, why not experience it in color? But here we are with issue 15. It's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the David Finch cover A. And that rounds out my comic book pull list for all the independent publishers. So if I just stick to the list, those are only going to cost me $22, and I can live with that. Not a bad week at all. Now, since we're talking about great weeks and light weeks, let's go ahead and talk about Marvel Comics. I've only got 2 books on my Marvel Comics pull list this week. The first of which is Way of X, issue number 2. Now, you guys know I've been behind on my X-Men reading titles because Ten of Swords has just been like a nightmare for me to get through. I'm almost done. I've got like 3 issues left in the Ten of Swords hardcover. It took 15 issues to really pick up, but now that we're at the end, like, I'm enjoying it. But anyway, Way of X number 2. Way of X kind of follows Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler's asking some real questions, right? In a society where there's no fear of death, where there's no concern for the afterlife, because we all know that everyone is resurrected, where is the room for faith? And what is the detriment to a society where there is no fear of death, right? You're seeing these young kids who, kind of make a game out of dying. And then you're seeing people who are affected by the Crucible, which is that tournament where you kind of earn the right to be resurrected if you were someone who was depowered by the Scarlet Witch. And to be honest, just to be frank, it doesn't sit well with Kurt. And he can't really put a finger on why. Meanwhile, there's a new threat that's coming for Krakoa, and Charles says that Nightcrawler is the best person to tackle it because he's the most compassionate and knows the most about people. And so we got a glimpse of who that threat is at the end of issue 1, and I'm excited to see how it picks up with issue 2. But Way of X, honestly, is a really, really good title. I loved issue 1. Like I said, I'm waiting to see what issue 2 is looking like. That's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting cover A. So going from a book that I'm very well caught up on to a book that I'm not so caught up on, Wolverine number 12, written by Benjamin Percy. I got to finish Ten of Swords, then I can start binge reading all my X-Men titles again. But Wolverine's always been one of my favorites. Benjamin Percy, between Wolverine and X-Force, is doing an amazing job just writing really compelling stories. And so I don't expect that to slow down anytime soon. Wolverine number 12's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. And that's it for my Marvel Comics pull list. So if I just stick to the list, my Marvel Comics are just going to cost me $8 this week. And that's a sight for sore eyes. I'm never mad at that. So now let's move on to DC Comics, the house that Batman built and continues to furnish and decorate and live in every room. Anyway, so actually this isn't as bad of a Batman week as last week was, but let's go ahead and get started. My DC Comics for the week. First up is Batman Fortnite 0 Point issue number 3. Now, this is no secret. I'm not reading this series. I pick it up every single week only because my little brother plays Fortnite and I like to get the codes so that he can collect them and build his character or whatever. Whatever you get to do with these codes. I think if you collect all 6 issues, then you get like a special Batman character or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not reading the story because it's clearly about Batman being in the Fortnite world, and I know nothing about the Fortnite world. So cover price is $4.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Next up is The Flash. Flash issue 770, written by Jeremy Adams with art by Jackson Herbert and Brandon Peterson. Flash, we got a new writer. This will be the third issue with a new writer, and I still have not started reading it. So I got it in front of me. We're gonna change that. I'm gonna read these books. My goal is to have a week, like next week or the week after, where I've read every single book, so I can tell you, why I'm excited about it. But anyway, Flash has a new writer. Wally West is taking over the mantle again, so I'm excited to see how things are going. This will be my first Flash ongoing that I read in single issues. So Flash 770, it's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting cover A. Next up is Justice League number 61. Once again, we're 3 issues into a new run by a new writer, in this case, Brian Michael Bendis. I don't really know much about it except that Naomi's on the team, Black Adam's on the team, and things are just getting crazy. But I've heard that this has been really good so far, so I'm excited to get into it. This is another one that I'm going to be binge reading. But yeah, so I'm going to be binge reading Justice League over the next few days to see how it is, and then if it's not good, I'll just drop it from the pull list. But for now, issue 61, you're safe. And that's got a cover price of $4.99. These DC titles, but anyway, $4.99. I'm just getting the cover A. Next up is another Batman title, because you needed another Batman title, because there wasn't enough Batman in the line already. There were not enough reasons to come to a comic shop to buy DC Comics, and so another Batman book. All right. Anyway, this is Legends of the Dark Knight number 1. I'm buying this because, Legends of the Dark Knight was just a great series. It ran like almost 200 issues the first time around. But I love the concept of Legends of the Dark Knight. It's just short stories written by, an artist or a writer and artist team, 2-3 issues, and then they leave and someone else writes a little bit of an arc. And it's like kind of these one-off adventures. Each little arc is just, I like it. I like the original Legends of the Dark Knight, and so I imagine that the new one is going to be just as good. So Legends of the Dark Knight number 1, got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Yeah. So the last book on my DC Comics pull list is Nightwing number 80. I read Nightwing 78. I read Nightwing 79. They were both amazing. Like, I rate my comics on like a scale of 1 to 10. And with a 1 being like, I never want to read this again, like I wasted my time, and a 10 being a perfect comic book. And Nightwing is consistently in like 9, 8.5, 9, 10 range. So anyway, Tom Taylor can do no wrong in my eyes, and he has not done anything wrong with the Dick Grayson character. So Nightwing number 80, I'm very, very excited for. If you're not picking this series up, you need to go back. You need to go back and get the issue 78 and 79. They both got second prints recently, so you should be able to pick them up. It's just great. It's Dick Grayson at his best. It's just good. And now that we're getting a couple issues in, we're going to start to see the actual conflict, and I'm excited to see how that goes. But that's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. And that's the end of my DC Comics pull list. So my DC Comics are going to cost me $22 this week. Not terrible. It's not a terrible week at all. And honestly, today's pull list was not bad. My budget is usually $50. And if I just stick to the list, all of my comics pull list is going to cost me $52. Not a bad day at all. $52 I could live with every single week. So that's what's on my pull list. I want to know what you guys are getting though. So let me know in the comments below. And if you want to talk comics with me all the time, then you should join the K Squad on Facebook. We get to post our hauls, our reviews, and have a lot of fun. And then people who are in the K Squad actually are eligible for giveaways every single month. The next giveaway is going live this Saturday during the Hangout, which is my live show where I like to talk comics with you guys at 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to be eligible for those giveaways, if you want to have fun with us, join the K Squad. The link's in the description. Let me know what's on your pull list, what's on the list that I've got that you're like, I do not want to read that. Comment below and let me know. And I'll see you in another video very soon. Until then, hope you saw something that you liked. And if not, hey, that's cool. But you can always buy what you like. Make sure you read what you buy and be nice to others because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.